10 years ago, I lost my son Jansen. He was 15 years old. We lost him very suddenly and tragically. He had a heart defect that we didn't know anything about. He woke up one day and went to football camp, complained of being dizzy to the coaches, and the first symptom was sudden death.
I have been working for the Touch of Life Foundation for almost a year and a half, and it's been totally amazing. The first time I ever got to participate in a rescue was in March of 2009.
I began working with the Touch of Life Foundation after meeting Pam and Randy Cope and reading Jansen's Gift, her memoir, about the loss of their son Jansen and what they've done with the foundation in the past 10 years.
I was in New York. I was just on a long weekend vacation, and my husband picked up a New York Times newspaper that weekend, and on the front page of the New York Times was an article about a 6-year-old child that had been sold into slavery by his parents named Mark Quadro. The photographer had just captured Mark's face and the pain and the suffering, and it really was that photograph that I feel was just so heart-wrenching.
Basically what happens when we conduct a rescue is the Ghanaian staff on the ground go in and talk to the slave masters on the islands who they've formed relationships with by being out in the communities. They investigate and figure out which children belong to the slave masters as children of their own, their own family, and which have been purchased and sold into slavery by their own parents from far, far away. So after all this research and investigation is conducted, they are able to assess which kids need to be rescued.
So the daily life of a kid in Ghana consists of them waking up in the morning and eating their only meal of the day, and then they go out on the lake with a few other people in a boat and fish. If their net gets caught in the bottom of the lake, then they have to go down and get it, and the kids who are little and haven't had very much experience swimming possibly drown, and it's kind of a deathly cycle.
As I was there with this boy who 12 hours earlier had been totally frightened and afraid and fearful for his life, was comfortable with me and was happy and relaxed and in a place where he knew he was safe and cared for and going to receive an education. And I just thought, in that moment, I realized that that was enough, that one child at a time, that is enough. And that's what we continue to do at Touch of Life as a small organization at the grassroots level, is one child at a time, and move forward knowing that while there are so many children who are deserving of a better life, who are living on Lake Volta, that one child at a time truly is enough.
It's just great to go to New Tech, and we shared the needs and we shared the stories of these children that we work with. And I just have to tell you that this was a group of young students that came back and said, what can we do? How can we help? And we gave them a project, and they said yes to it. And I think that this is just an amazing example of how this is a generation that they were not crippled by, oh, that's a lot of money, or that would be a lot of hard work. They made their mind up that they were going to help these kids that live in a third world country that have been living in slavery.
So far, I feel like we've been able to get our kids involved in not only raising money through our networking groups for those one laptop per child, but we were able to raise a bunch of supplies and all kinds of stuff that we got to send in those boxes to Ghana.
We put together little care packages for some of the kids in Africa, where we brought in a variety of like little toys and clothes and things to send to them, and kind of corresponded with them, wrote them letters, decorated a box to really give them something to know that we're here and that we're thinking about them and care.
It's been a really good experience so far. Getting to not only feel like you're contributing to a cause that's actually helping individuals, rather than just some broad cause, getting to send those supplies and getting to send those computers, and then almost instantaneously getting video images of those kids actually getting to use those, and getting to, seeing their faces, how excited they got when they were opening up those laptops for the first time, was a really powerful moment for me, and getting to see that, what we were doing is actually worthwhile.
First, I just wanted to let them all touch the computer and get over their initial excitement, and calm down a little bit. And I passed it around the room and let them all hold it, and just touching it, their faces were just amazing.
By getting these laptops, we're really opening a whole new world for them. Like, they can look at pictures of animals that they've never seen before. They can look at the world map, which they've probably never seen before. They can just, we tried to Skype with them earlier. Like, we can do so much with them, and we really opened up like a whole new world for them just by getting them laptops.
And I don't think they ever got it. We had to pull them away to get them to go to bed. It was amazing the things that they found so quickly. And it was just exciting for us to see, education is important, and these laptops opened up whole new doors for them as far as what's out there and what's possible.
I just want people to understand how much power they really do have, regardless of your social status or age, that you really do have a lot of power on touching other people's lives.
I think the Touch of Life Foundation is a really great foundation to support, especially here at a school where, working with young kids get to learn firsthand about issues affecting other young kids around the world, and it really opens up to them, what the situation is like in other countries, and how, even though their life may be a certain way, kids in another country have it vastly different.
Eventually, you have this huge population that have all experienced this little glimmer of hope, this little feeling like, yeah, they might actually be able to make a difference. And eventually you get to a size group that's large enough that the collective consciousness of our society eventually changes, and our entire society shifts to a new understanding of what our life needs to be.
It's probably the most inspiring thing when we look at our own lives and think that things may be hopeless, or think we're in a terrible situation, whether it's finances or relationships or any of those things. And then you can look at a little child who can be thankful for those bare necessities and is prepared to move forward in their life equipped to handle whatever comes their way. That's very hopeful and inspiring.
Nobody is as selfless and giving as Pam and Randy Cope are, because whenever they talk about the foundation or the work that is done, it's never in terms of themselves. It's always in terms of the people that they work with, the people that they serve, the children that are in their programs. It's never about, I'm Pam and I did this.
Touch of Life has many stories about children that have been sold by their parents and exploited and trafficked. And we feel it is our responsibility to fight this problem. And if it's not our responsibility and it's not your responsibility, then whose responsibility is it?
My name is Taylor Mays and I touched a life.
I'm Randall Ball and I touched a life.
My name is Amer and I touched a life.
I'm Dara Thomas and I touched a life.
I'm Sarah Wynn and I touched a life.